Okay, welcome to Term 1, Week 4 Math CA. Before starting, I just want to announce, or I don't know, I'm not going to announce, this is not confirmed, but I may be leaving Sabis at the end of the year. Uh, if I'm leaving, I might go to another Sabbath school, but it won't be in this region. So this year is probably going to be my last year of recording, and I won't continue on into grade 12. So I don't want to leave as much as you guys don't want me to stop recording. But it is what it is, and sometimes your family comes first. So anyway, do dua, I guess, for me to stay. Anyway, this is Math CA. Question 1. Which of the following is the result of subtracting g of x from f of x? The first 5 questions are SAT questions. They're basically old material questions, but sick to warm you guys up for the SAT. And SAT math is the easiest math I've seen in my life. This is grade 7 math, grade 8 math. So subtracting g of x from f of x. Subtracting g of x, that means we want to minus g of x, right? Okay. From f of x. Some people get this wrong because they think it's minus f of x, but we know what are we subtracting? We're subtracting g of x. So it's minus g of x. So we're going to distribute the minus, it's going to become minus x squared plus x minus 2, right? And this, you just copy it down. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x. Combine your like terms. Cube, it doesn't have anything with it, so you keep it down. Minus 3x squared minus x squared minus 4x squared. 2x plus x, 3x. And then this minus 2 doesn't have anything. Okay, so you just take it down. So 2x cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 2. Question 2. These are all very easy, huh? Like, look here, this is a grade 8 math question. Here, you want to simplify. Some people, what they're going to do, they're going to take 4 out. They're going to be like, oh, shit. And they're going to take this 16 out. They're going to put plus 4 outside. This is completely wrong. When you have a radical, it's like a fraction. Okay, you can't do one thing and just leave the other one. You have to treat it all as one. If you ever want to simplify a radical, I recommend you to factor it out. So let's ignore the radical. What can you write 4xy cubed? 4xy cubed plus 16x squared y squared. Let's rewrite it. Let's like factor some squares out. Here we have the square. We have let's look at our constant terms or our coefficients. We have squares, right? 4 is a square and 16 is a square. So let's take 4 out. Can I take x squared out? No, I can't because I have 1x here. I can't take square out, right? Can I take y squared out? I can, right? So it's going to be 4y squared out. And then this is like old math and just factoring stuff out. Xy and 16 divided by 4, x squared. Okay, like this. Remember that it's all under the radical. Okay. 4, now you can actually factor it out as you can apply the radical. You can apply the radical to what we just took out. 4 goes out as 2, y squared goes out as y. 2y xy plus 4x squared. طب وليد, you could have factored out x. طب ماشي. You know what? I'm gonna همشي معك للآخر. Let's factor out x because it's a common term, right? Okay, let's factor out x. 4xy squared xy plus 4x squared. Okay, factor out x. Okay, it's gonna 2y is gonna go out as normal. Can you take this x out? You can't, right? So that's why you're gonna throw it back in here. Oh, it's not xy plus 4x squared. When you take out x, it's gonna be 4xy squared. Inside is y plus 4x. Yeah, so you're gonna have to throw the x back inside because it's not square, so you can't apply the radical to it. So if you want our answer in simplest form, you're gonna get this. Like, look, if you apply the radical, you can get 2y radical x y plus 4x. And why do you want to do this? Just keep it as xy plus 4x squared radical 2y. Okay. Question 3. Okay, solve the equation when a equals 3. Like, this is literally this is baby math. I'm serious. It's minus x. This is the math for anyone doing the SAT that you're gonna see in the SAT. Okay, in case you haven't started studying from now, which I recommend you start studying. Okay, you're gonna get minus 2 times 3 is 6, as a minus 6 minus x radical equals 8, 9 minus 1. Square both sides, you're gonna get minus 6 minus x equals 64. Guys, wallah, I don't like explaining this. It's too easy. Okay, minus x equals 70, sorry. and you're gonna get x equals minus 70. I should have skipped these questions. Hold on. Okay, a college offers 2-hour credit courses and 3-hour credit courses. A student at this college signed up for 16 credit hours, so the total is 16, right? Let x be the number of 2 hours, okay, and y be the number of 3 hours. The number of 3-hour courses is twice the number of 2-hour courses. 3-hour courses is y. We know that they just said y is equal to what? Twice of the 2-hour courses. We know the 2-hour courses are x, so y equals 2x. So we know they said which of the following equations is true. So it's either this one or this one. So what's the difference between this and this? Okay, we also know that the total, when you add them up, is equal to 16. So we can say, well, here you're adding to get 16, here you're also kind of whatever adding to get 16. Let's see. We know that x is the number of 2-hour courses, right? So we're gonna denote it by 2x, right? 2x plus, because the total hours is 16. Each x gets me 2. So 2 times x plus the y, it's 3 hours, right? We also know its total is 16. So 2x plus 3y equals 16, because they should add up to 16. Okay. If they get this in the exam, by the way, these SAT questions, they come almost the same numbers. What is the number of solutions of the given system of equations? You're going to see this, you're going to start panicking. Let's just solve it as if it's a system. Okay, x minus 4y equals 3. You can take 4y to the other side, you get 4y plus 3. So you can substitute x here by 4y plus 3. So that's substituted. 2 4y plus 3 minus 8y equals 2. Comes 8y plus 6 minus 8y equals 2. Now 8y minus 8y, it cancels. You get 0y plus 6 equals 2, 0y equals minus 4. Does this mean there's a solution? No, because you can't divide by 0. Okay, let's say you want to get rid of the 0. This cancels with this, okay? Can you divide minus 4 by 0? No, you're not allowed. So there's no solution. Okay, here we want to expand this. I'm gonna do it a bit quicker because I'm recording this on the day of the math periodic. I really am tired of seeing binomials. We take 1 minus x up, so it becomes negative 2. Expand this up until the x cubed term, right? Let's expand until the x cubed term. You're gonna get minus 2c0 plus minus 2c1 minus x to the power of 1 plus minus 2c2 minus x to the power of 2 plus minus 2c3 minus x to the power of 3. This is 1. This is plus 2x. I'm not even going to bother simplifying. You can simplify on your own. Minus 2c2, let's do 2 factorial over minus 2 minus 3. You get 6 over 2. You get 3. Okay, you get 3x squared. Then minus 2c3, 3 factorial down, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. You get minus 4 if you put this on a calculator. So plus 4x cubed. Why plus? Because it's a minus from here and it's minus here, so it becomes plus. Okay, now we do plus dot 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 dot. Okay, we want to distribute it to this x plus 4, right? So let's distribute as yeah. Okay, 1 times x, 1 times 4, 4. 2x times x, 2x squared. 2x times 4 is 8x. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 4 is 12x squared. 4x cubed times x is 4x to the power 4. 4x cubed times 4 is 16x to the power of 3. Okay, let's see. They don't care about the x to the power 4. Let's just cross that out. Let's see. Let's start with the constant term. Our constant term is 4. Done. For our x, we have x plus 8x, which is 9x. Okay, done. For our x squared, and then 2x squared plus 12x squared, 14x squared. For a cube, 16 plus 3, 19. Here, put Pascal's triangle. The answer in the AMS was 10, but I don't know why people, they got this wrong. Wallah, it's such a stupid mistake to get wrong, guys. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. I'll write... Okay, I'll like cover over them, so I write in red and it shows. Okay. Okay. Anyway. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 1 again, 3. Okay, 1 plus 3 gets me 4. 3 plus 3 gets me 6. 3 plus 1 gets me 4. 1 plus 4, 5. 4 plus 6, 10. 6 plus 4, 10. 4 plus 1, 5. 1 plus 5, 6. 5 plus 10, 15. 10 plus 10, 20. 10 plus 5, again, 15. Okay, Pascal's triangle, guys. Question 8. If absolute value x less than 1, what's the coefficient of x to the power 4 and the expansion of this? Okay. What's the coefficient of x to the power 4? Okay. Actually, we have to take it up because we can't work with denominator, right? So 1 plus x to the power of negative 4. How many questions is this? Goes 19. Okay. We want the x4 term, right? The x4 term. If you expand this, you're going to get the general term of it is minus 4ck x to the power of k, right? Okay. Now we want the power to be 4. So what is k going to be equal to? K equal 4. So you're going to get minus 4c4 x to the power of 4. Minus 4c4 is 4 times 5 times 6 times 7. I'll do it for you. Minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. 4 terms, right? Because we want c4 over 4 fact 35. Okay, so you get 35 x to the 4. Okay. Question 9. What's the coefficient of the x5 term here? Okay. Again, whenever they ask for the coefficient of a specific term, you write the general term. In this case, the general term is 7ck. It's not a negative power, so it's as normal. 2x to the power 7 minus k. Minus 1 over 4 to the power of k. Now we want the x5 term. What's the coefficient of x here? 7 minus k. What do we want it to be? 5. So you get k equals 2. So 7 c2. 2x to the power of 5 minus 1 over 4 squared. 7c2 is 21. 2x to the power 5 is 32. X to the power 5 minus 1 over 4 squared is 1 over 16. This with this, you get 2. And you get 21 times 2, 42. X to the power of 5. Okay. Okay, هلا they want the third term. If they're asking for the nth term, the third term يعني k equals 3 minus 1, which is 2. Let's expand this. You're gonna get, what's the general term? أول شيء the general term here is 5ck 1 to the power of 5 minus k 4x to the power of k. 5ck we know k equals 2, so 5c2 1 to the power of 3 4x to the power of 2. 5c2 is gonna be 10, and this is gonna be 16x squared, so it's 140 as the 160x squared. This is not the answer. Yeah, 160x squared. Okay. Coefficient of 1 over x to the power 4. Okay, here, let's see. 1 over x to the power 4 means x to the power of negative 4. This came in the written today. You had to know that if it's negative, yani it's just flipped upside down. Okay, here, let's write the general term. It's 12ck x to the power of 12 minus k minus 1 over x to the power of k. Okay. Now we want to find x. Okay. We know that the power of x we have here, we're going to subtract it by the power of x we have here, because this is in the denominator, so we're going to divide, so we're going to be subtracting it. So since we're going to be subtracting powers, since the denominator you're dividing by this power, you know when you divide powers you subtract. Since we're subtracting, that means the power of x I have at the end is going to be 12 minus k, the power here, minus the power here, which is k. Right? So the power I have at the end, which is negative 4. Right? So this can be written as 12 minus 2k equals negative 4. And you're going to get minus 16 divided by 2, negative 2ak equals 8. I'm not giving you the rule directly, n minus 2k equals p, because you guys get confused. The last time I said it, you're like, when do you use this, when do you use this? خلاص, don't use rules, understand. Just understand, if you're dividing, that means you're subtracting the powers, okay? And you write 12 minus k minus the other power k equals the power you want at the end, and you continue solve. Now we know k equals 8, so 12 c8 x to the power 4 minus 1 over x to the power of 8. 12c8, we do that on our calculator. 495 x to the power 4. This becomes a positive because it's an even exponent, so 1 over x to the power of 8. We know that x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 8 is x to the power of negative 4. You get 495 x to the power of negative 4, which is 495 over x to the 4. Okay. Question 12. What is the constant term? Constant term k equals n over 2. That's all you have to know. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Okay, if k equals 6, let's see. 12c6. 2x to the power of 12 minus 6 minus 1 over 2x to the power of 6. 12c6, we're gonna get that on the calculator. 12c6, 924. This becomes 2x to the power of 6. This becomes minus 1 over 2x to the power of 6 to the power of 6, right? Because you're distributing it inside the fraction. Okay, أول شيء, this becomes positive, right? Negative, and it's an even exponent, so it becomes positive. 2x to the power of 6 cancels, so you're gonna get that the coefficient is, all you have left is 924 times 1. Okay. Question 13. A question like this came today in the periodic. The coefficient of x squared here. Okay, let's write the general term. When they ask for a specific coefficient, you always write the general term. So 7ck, 2 to the power of 7 minus k, minus x to the power of k. Okay, we want the coefficient of x squared. What's the power of x here? It's k. Now, how much do I want it to be? 2. So yani k equals 2. So 7c2, 2 to the power of 5, minus x to the power of 2. 7c2 is 21, 2 to the power of 5 is 32, minus x squared is just x squared. So you get 21 times 32, which is 672. Okay, how about x cubed? X cubed, same process, but أكيد, how much is k gonna be now? 3. So let's rewrite it. 7c3, 2 to the power of 4, minus x to the power of 3. 7c3 is 35, 2 to the power of 4 is 16, times minus x cubed. It stays negative because it's an odd exponent. 16 times 35, 560, but times the negative of the x cubed gets me minus 560. Okay, the coefficient of x cubed in the expansion. So we want to expand 3x plus 1 or 2 minus x to the power of 7. We already expanded this to get 672x squared, right? Minus 560 x cubed plus dot dot dot. Okay, we want the coefficient of x cubed. To make our life easier, let's only expand the stuff that will get me x cubed. 3x times x squared will get me x cubed, yes. So 3 times 672, wait, 2016 x cubed. So this will get me x cubed. X times x cubed will get me x cubed. No, it will get me x4. So we're done from the 3x. 1 times x squared will get me x cubed. No, it will get me x squared. 1 times x cubed will get me x cubed. So 1 times minus 560 x cubed. You just subtract these, you get 1, 4, 5, 6. Question 14. Okay. هلا derivatives. خلصنا من البينوميال. With derivatives, it's not all the same derivatives that we took before. There are some special steps or added steps that basically are the root of where the derivative was found and how it was discovered in math. You're supposed to know the process of how like it was discovered. So right now, it's only one question that has to do with that, and I doubt they'll bring it, but you still have to know it. Really, you still have to know it in case they do bring it. Here we have a graph of g of x, which is this curve. Okay, it has a point q, it has a point r, and they drew a line tangent to it. Okay, they're saying what is the value of the gradient at point q? The slope of any curve at a certain point is equal, or the gradient of the curve of the curve at a specific point is equal to the slope of the tangent. So here they drew for you a secant just to mix you up. They said t is the tangent. That's all we care about when we're working with derivatives. We don't care about secants. We only care about tangents. So we have 2 points on this tangent. We have t and q. We're going to find the slope, like in grade 7. 3 comma 3 comma 2.5 and 2 comma 4.5. Let's see, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You get 2 over -1, which is -2. Question 15. This is the hard one. Yes, this is the okay, not hard one, بس يعني بدها شوية تفكير. They gave us that the gradient of the curve y equals 3x plus 1 squared at the point P 0, 3. You could go ahead and derive and get this gradient, but there alhamdulillah, there, if you just did that, you would just get the answer part C. But نحن, we want to go through part A and B. What part A and B explain is what the derivative is. If you have any curve, okay, any curve, and we want to find, I don't know, so heck, okay, this looks more of a cubic, and you want to find the gradient of this curve at this point over here. Let's write it in blue. Okay, وين احنا اتفقنا, you're gonna take the tangent, you're gonna draw a tangent at this point to find the slope of the tangent to blah 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 blah. صح؟ ماشي. بس was that originated in no? Did someone just come and say, oh shit, we can just find the slope of the tangent? No. Here's how it worked. So before all of this rule was invented, they said, some mathematician, he was like, oh, let me zoom into this graph. Okay? And he zoomed in so much, and he said, let's say I have this point over here. Why is it so small? Okay, yeah. I have this point over here. We're gonna call this point P. Okay? I want to find the gradient of this curve at point P. So what he did is he kept on making 2 points. He said, oh, well, it kind of looks straight here. So let's like add a new point and call this like Q. Yeah, so like I was saying, it just took me a second. I don't know why I stuttered. So he said, oh, well, the curve kind of looks straight here. So let's just find the slope of this line here. And then he said, you know, that's not exact. Let me add like another point over here and call it like Q2. Okay? And because it's kind of straight here, right? It's more straight. Well, it's straight, and it's more straight than this line when it was QP, right? So now it's Q2P. And then he found the slope, and then he was like, shit, you know what? Let me try one more time. So he's like, let me zoom in more. Oh, I can't zoom in more. So he's like, okay, let me put another point. We call it Q3. Find the slope between P and Q3. So he would find the slope of PQ3, and he would keep on doing this and keep on doing this until he got like a point Q4. And then he studied the slopes of all of these. He said the slope between, he put them in a table like this. Okay? And he was like, okay, let's see. PQ, the slope of that was 4.3. Then PQ2, the slope of that was 4.25. Then PQ3, the slope of that was 4.17. Then PQ4, the slope of that was 4.06. And he kept on drawing more points, and he went closer and closer. He went to Q5. And then he was like, okay, I just finished recording, and I'm going to end the recording. I realized that my recording was paused the whole time. So I finished over here at where I was saying, yeah, the PQ4 thing. So let me go back here. Like, see, I even... okay. So he kept on drawing these points, and then he was like, okay, let me try taking points from after. Okay, so he started taking points from after, and then he saw that if you take the slope of those 2 points, y2 minus y1, you start getting points again close to 4. So he was like, oh shit, all of these approach 4, right? So as he said, as the limit, as delta x approaches 0, right? Delta x yani the change between these two x's. Other people write delta like this, huh? So don't be confused. In math, you write delta like this, or you can write the triangle, doesn't matter. As delta x approaches 0, the slope in this case approaches 4. Okay, m is the slope. That's what he figured out. Okay, so يعني I'm still okay, so this question 15, I don't know if I did 14. Did I do 14? Okay, yeah, so you needed to know this for 15. So what they did is they gave you y equals 3x plus 1 squared. They gave you the equation of y. I'm gonna close my open board and open it again because it's lagging. I hate when this happens. Open board. Okay, I want it to be a bit thinner. Okay, so they gave us this, right? And they're asking us, and they gave us point P. And then they said, oh, we're gonna draw for you a point Q, and its abscissa is h, meaning its x value is h. The slope of PQ. Actually, to find slope, we're gonna do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. ماشي. y2 is gonna be the y of our point Q, right? Our point Q is h. We need the y value of our h. What do we know about y? We know that y is equal to 3x plus 1 squared. Okay, what do we know? Do we know what the x is? We know it's h. So it's 3h plus 1 squared. So 3h plus 1 squared. And we know that in grade 11 math, you are not allowed to keep your answer like this, right? We have to expand. So it's going to be 3a plus b squared is h squared plus 2ab. So 2 times h times 1 is 2h plus 1 squared, which is 1. We're going to distribute 3h squared plus 6h plus 3. So it's going to be q h 3h squared plus 6h plus 3. Now, can we do y2 minus 1 over x2 minus x1? We know that this point P is 0, comma 3. Let's see. This y2 minus this y1, 3h squared plus 6h plus 3 minus y1, which is 3, over x2 minus x1, h minus 0. You're going to cancel this 3 minus 3, and you're going to get 3h squared plus 6h over h. Can we factor out h? Yes, we can. It's going to become 3h plus 6 over h. So we cancel the h with the h, and you're going to get that its slope, is 6 plus 3h. As h approaches 0, so they're saying limit h approaches 0, then m approaches what? 6. Now what are we saying? They're saying h approaches 0. Limits, when you get the limit of anything, they say approaches 0. All they're asking you to do is just substitute that value with whatever number they see. If they say h approaches 3, that means substitute h with 3. But نحن here we're only working with limits approaching 0. So let's forget about that. So as h approaches 0, so let's see, 3 times 0 plus 6. You get 6, صح? All you have to do is just substitute h with 0. You get that the m approaches 6. So as your h value is approaching 0, your m slope is approaching 6. Therefore, if it's approaching 6, yani the gradient of the curve is 6. Here, it was approaching, in the example I gave before here, it was approaching 4, صح? In all these examples. So that's why the gradient of the curve at that point was 4. 16, I think, was an easy one. Okay, just derive. You know how to derive. Guys, for anyone who doesn't know how to derive, ax to the power of n, the derivative of it, dy over dx, equals an x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, multiply the coefficients, reduce the exponent by 1. Okay, multiply by the coefficient, 16x, reduced by 1, 15. Easy as. يعني ما في أبسط من هيك. Okay. Here we want to find the derivative and then substitute x equals 16. So what we need to find the derivative. So we need to find dy over dx of the fourth root of x to the power of 7. If you have it written, here's how you write it. You say y equals the fourth root of x to the power of 7. Then you don't say, then you don't start deriving. Okay, أول شيء before you start deriving is we can't have roots. There's two rules. You can't have roots. كمان you can't have in the denominator. Here, I can't have a root. I'm not allowed. So let's change the root into a fraction. It becomes x to the power of 7 over 4. The index goes down to the denominator. The root, as the power inside, goes up as the numerator. Can we find y prime? Yes, we can. It's going to become y prime is the derivative. Yeah, okay. dy of dx is the same as y prime. After you found, it now satisfies the condition. It's ready to get derived. You write y prime, you start deriving. 7 over 4 x to the power of 7 over 4 minus 1. So you get 7 over 4 x to the power of 3 over 4. Is that what they asked me? No, they said when x equals 16. So you substitute 7 over 4 times 16 to the power of 3 over 4. And you should get 14. And I think I still have it written on my calculator. Yeah, 14. Question 18. Okay, derivative of this may be expressed as this. We want to derive y equals 1 over x to the power 7. Y equals 1 over x to the power 7. Can we derive? No. We have to first change the denominator. We're not allowed to have denominator, so it becomes x to the power of negative 7. After you write this, we can now, it's ready for derivation. So you write y prime equals negative 7x to the power of negative 8. Please, a common mistake students make is put negative 6. Guys, it's negative, we reduce x1 by 1, we subtract by 1. So x becomes negative 7, x to the power of negative 7 minus 1. Negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8, not negative 6. Okay? For that reason, it's negative 7x to the power of negative 8. Now, let's see how they wrote it. أول شيء, in your answer, guys, by the way, after deriving, you're not allowed to have a negative power. If you want to keep it, and if you find your answer, you have to keep it positive. Okay? In your answer. In your answer. Not before you derive, I'm saying after you derive, when you're writing down your answer. So we're going to take this now, it's going to become negative 7 over x to the power of 8. So what are our numbers? They put the negative outside. So they took the negative outside. So what's it going to be? 7 over x to the power of 8, right? So 7 is my m, and n is 8. Question 19. Okay, and then here, in descending power using the binomial theorem, what is true? أكيد the first term is p to the power of n, right? Is the last term this? No, the last term is supposed to be q to the power of n. The first term is pn qn. No. The last term is pq. No. The fourth term is when k equals 3. أكيد yes. The fourth term is when k equals 4. No. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck.